1 Peter chapter 2. For to this you are called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps, who committed no sin, nor was deceit found in his mouth, who, when he was reviled, did not revile in return. When he suffered, he did not threaten, but committed himself to him who judges righteously, who himself bore our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, having died to sins, might live for righteousness, by whose stripes you were healed. For you were like sheep going astray, but have now returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls.
So this is in the context of submitting to government authorities. This is referring to when Jesus was put on trial, and he did not at that point answer his critics. But he did answer his critics during his ministry, and he did so in public, in the presence of those criticizing him. In Mark 2:6, his critics were criticizing him. Actually, they were just thinking it, but Jesus knew what they were thinking. That they were thinking, this guy's a blasphemer for claiming to be able to forgive sins. Did Jesus brush them off? Be gone, haters. No, he answered them and then demonstrated that he is in fact able to forgive sins. Now, in that same chapter, he is criticized for eating with sinners. Did he brush them off? No, he responded in verse 17. It is not the healthy who need a physician, but the sick. Now, in the very next verse, verse 18, they criticize him for not making his disciples fast, and he answers that criticism. Then in verse 19, the very next verse after that, they criticize him because his disciples picked grain to eat on the Sabbath, and he answered them. The next chapter, chapter 3, they criticize him for healing on the Sabbath, and he answers them. That same chapter, verse 20, he is criticized by members of his own family for being crazy. And then the Jewish leaders chime in and accuse him of being possessed by a devil. Jesus responded with a rather lengthy response. He told some parables. He used it as an opportunity to teach. Now, this is just 2 chapters in one of the Gospels. The 4 Gospels are littered with accounts of Jesus responding to criticism. However, as it was prophesied, when he was brought before the rulers and kings, he did not open his mouth. So Peter, too, is telling us that when we are brought before rulers and kings, that we should not try to defend ourselves. But we ought always to defend the truth, as Peter said in the same letter, 1 Peter 3:15, to always be ready to give an answer for the hope that is in you.